I'd love for you to share with us your journey on how you became a senator. What setbacks did you have in your career, and how did you actually overcome them?
Well, you know, I started off as a very young girl wanting to play Little League. Back at a time where girls weren't allowed to play Little League.
Right.
And I was insistent, and I was actually the best guy on the team. So when I was not even allowed to try out for Little League, I expressed my displeasure. My parents shared with me that in America we have something called the ability to redress grievances. They didn't use those words at the time, but basically you could petition to change things. And so we prepared a petition, and I went around my neighborhood and asking people to sign the petition that would allow girls to participate in Little League. And we had some people who signed the petition, and some people who patted me on the head and told me I should go back and play with my dolls. I remembered those people on Halloween in particular, those who had not been quite so open to the idea. So, but seriously, the Little League Association never responded. And so I committed right then and there that they would regret that decision. And that was the beginning of my political career.
Today there seems to be more awareness around issues regarding gender equity and women empowerment in business, entrepreneurship, and economy. What is your take on that? Why do you think that's happening?
Women are in the workforce today, not just because some women want to be and should be, if that's their choice, but also because women have to be in order to support themselves and their families. So as we see the expansion of women in the workforce, we know that women are equally as competent, equally in many instances now better educated than their male counterparts. More women are graduating college today. I mean, we should open up the halls of power to the most qualified people and not exclude them based upon gender, but open up the halls of power and success and opportunity to everybody based upon your ability. And that's sort of been a guiding principle for me. And with over half the population being female, then let's open up those doors and have gender equity and not create or allow there to be obstacles in women's way to being successful, to contributing to society, to providing opportunity for everyone to achieve their potential.
How will Bill SB 826 help promote women equity and diverse gender representation?
I did this bill that now will require that companies that are publicly traded, that are headquartered in California, will be required to add a woman to their boards by the end of 2019, and then increase the size of women's participation over the course of time to create that critical mass. We know that it's good for the companies, for the shareholders. We know that, according to the McKinsey report, when you have a critical mass of women on a corporate board, the company is more profitable, it's more productive, it has better performance, it's more innovative, and it deals with its workforce in a more collaborative way. So we have workforce accountability and engagement. These are all critical items and components for successful business.
What needs to happen for Bill SB 826 to actually pass? And when it passes also, how long does it take for it to become effective?
Well, the bill now has passed the Senate, and it's over in the Assembly. And I'm hopeful the governor will sign it. And it would become effective in 2018, but the requirement doesn't begin until the end of 2019. So either these companies will fill a vacancy with a woman or add a position. We know again that there's very little turnover in these boards, and we're not forcing anybody out. We're not creating a quota. What we're saying is if you don't have a woman available on board by the end of 2019, then you have to expand the size of your board to include a woman. And if you choose not to, you don't have to, but the penalty will be the cost of a seat on the board. And sometimes board seats pay a remuneration of up to $250,000.
Wow.
So that would be the fine.
So what do you think is still needed for America to implement true gender equity?
Well, I think there are a number of things. I think one of the things is we need to finally find a woman qualified to be president of the United States.
That is
and given what we've got now, that's not going to take a whole lot.
Right.
And I'm being facetious because we have had a number of women who would be qualified to be president of the United States. We need to show our young girls, we need to show women, we need to show men that there is indeed a woman out there. There are many women out there qualified to be president of the United States. We're one of the only industrialized nations in the world that hasn't had a woman as president.
Yes.
And it is long overdue. And I think for role modeling, I think as a woman as president, we bring a different life experience to the table. I think it is critically important as well that we respect each other as human beings, regardless of our race, our ethnicity, our national origin, our culture, our sexual orientation. Did I mention our gender? We need to have greater respect for each other. We need to reestablish a society where we value kindness, where we value our diversity, which is what we do here in California, where we value the contributions that each person can give. And when we do that, we will have equity across the board. Is that possible? We have to believe it is, and we have to continue to strive for that.